Hello people, welcome to SiksikaOutdoors and my review of the Fallkniven F1 Pro Series knife. Just before I do the review on this, I just wanted to make a couple of comments on the Fallkniven F1 that this is built upon really. Now the Fallkniven F1 is a very good knife in itself. It's highly regarded the world over. It's been tried and tested for many years now. From outdoor enthusiasts, wilderness survivalists and military personnel, all nature of things it's been put through, and it really does stand up to a lot of punishment. It's a very versatile knife. Anyway, let's get on with the review on this. Already you can see that there's an air of quality about this. This isn't just a pretty presentation box. It's really been well thought out by the Fallkniven team. There's some lashing points here, if you can see. Hopefully I can get that in camera shot. Perfect for Kensington lock attachment, so you can lash this in the inside of a rucksack, a Bergen, or maybe hand luggage, just to make it a little bit more secure. And I can understand why you'd want to do that. It's a very sturdy box. I would say completely shock absorbent. Really good indeed. What I particularly like, if we take a look inside, is that rubber seal that runs the complete circumference of the lid. Now that makes it watertight. I think this would make an excellent box for everyday carry, your go-to survival kit, or indeed actually valuable camper equipment. I think it would be well protected in here. You could probably tell by the quality of my filming and the kit that I'm using, it probably doesn't warrant it. But nevertheless, I'm sure there's plenty of you out there that would find really good use for putting their camera equipment in. I'm going to cover off the review in a bit more detail outside on the other pieces of kit that come with this. But again, really nice thinking here. Fallkniven have provided their legendary DC whetstone. This is a DC4. And on one side we have a diamond edge, which is a coarser grind really, if you need to sort of do a little bit more work and touching up with your blade. And if you want to really get it to that fine cutting edge, we've got a ceramic side as well. These are excellent, and again held in high regard by many people who utilise all sorts of knives out there. And as before, we've got a Zytel sheath, and when I say as before, the Fallkniven F1 comes in a Zytel sheath as standard. You can get leather sheaths. Indeed, I've got a custom sheath that I'll probably go into a bit more detail, made for my A1, my Fallkniven A1, by a brilliant sheath maker, probably one of the best in my opinion, and that's a guy called Martin Swinkels over in the Netherlands. But I'll do a little bit more on that and probably another review a bit later on. What they've done here, they've got the snap point for the blade. I'm not going to put it in there because I'll show you when we're outside. But they've changed the design slightly in the fact that they now put these attachments on the outside, which make it fully MOLLE compatible. You can lash this to all manner of things, so really good thought. But it's all about the knife, and let's take a look at this. So there we go. That is the Fallkniven F1 Pro Series, and for you who have got the F1 out there or know of the F1 well, you probably notice straight away there's some marked improvements. You've now got a swedge at the top. The standard F1 doesn't have the swedge. This makes it much more functional, and of course I would imagine for military personnel a more tactical blade. And also what we've got, instead of a full convex grind as the F1 has, we've now got a half convex grind. It's almost Scandi in design, but I'd be correct I think in saying that what we've got now is a half convex grind, and that makes that a more obtuse edge, and that's going to probably be an improvement for feather sticking, battening and the like. It's really, I've already tested the sharpness of this, and this is very sharp straight out the box. But here we go. Let's go into a bit more detail about this beautiful knife. So the Pro Series has got a change in the materials used. The standard F1 is a VG10 laminated, and I think that's between two pieces of J2 steel. and you have the VG10 in the middle. What this has now is COS, or cobalt steel, and that's even stronger than the VG10. You're not going to get the issues, or any issues really, with chipping out, as long as you're just careful the way you use a knife. It's all about the care and treatment as well. But what the cobalt steel does now is it's brought the strength of the blade up to 60 on the Rockwell hardness scale, and that's a great improvement. And because we've got bigger dimensions now, which I'll explain in a minute, it also makes for a consistently thicker and increased torsion rigidity. That's hard to say, meaning that this will withstand even greater external forces than before. It's a very, very strong blade, especially for the size. And going on to the size, just general dimensions here. We've got 217mm on the overall length of the knife, and we've got 100mm on the blade itself. And this has been up to also, we've now got a 5mm thick spine. It's a significantly, it's a significant spine, especially for a blade this size. Fantastic, really, really well thought out of. We've got a tapered tang on the F1 Pro, and it's even wider and indeed thicker than before. And what I really like is that this is exposed here, and that would make for a really good glass breaker, maybe if you need some hammering there at all. But it's a nice addition, really, really nice addition, and well thought out, I think. We've got a crossguard now that is in stainless steel. Before it was in the firmer run, same as the handle, and that is absolutely fine, but was susceptible to a bit of damage. It can be, if you're not careful when battening up against wood. You can get some damage to the crossguard there under the normal firmer ram. But what this has got is a stainless steel, so it makes it a lot stronger. And for me, not sure, it's an assumption, and I know there's that saying, only fools make assumptions, but I think it's quite a good one to make. For Kydex, as I mentioned, the sheath that I had made for my A1 excuse me, has got a Kydex inner and a leather outer, and I like that click that you get with Kydex, that sure click that you know, no matter what position you're carrying it in, it's going to stay firm within the sheath. And I think what this will do is just be a lot more surer than the firmer ram when it goes into a Kydex sheath. As I said, nothing wrong at all with the Zytel sheath that this is provided with, and indeed the leather sheaths that Fallkniven supply with this as an option as well. But as I say, crossguard, excellent addition. It just it feels surer when choking up on the blade itself. You can really feel confident in the grip. The firmer run handles, as we know, have always been well thought out, and many people are very happy with the grip you get on them. I just really like the way that this comes up. So let's summarise anyway. Okay, the F1 Pro is a more expensive blade than the standard F1, which in itself is legendary, of course. But this is truly unparalleled in its quality and can be relied upon regardless of the environment and the weather that's thrown at it. It's a hell of a stout knife for the blade length. And subsequently, the F1 Pro comes with a 10-year warranty. That's how confident Fallkniven are in the quality of the work that they're putting out and the materials they're using. You know, I really like that. It says a lot for what Fallkniven are all about. So we have a 10-year warranty now, and that's both for materials and for workmanship, which sums up what an absolutely astonishing knife this should prove to be for many years, and for people who are going to rely on this for real survival situations. However, a review's not a review until we put the knife to the test. So stay tuned. Let's get outside and test this blade. So okay, we've come outside to see what this can do as far as banding is concerned, and we'll do some feather sticking with it as well. What I wanted to show you first that I didn't cover off earlier was that included in this kit is a DC4 sharpening stone.
I refer to it more as a field sharpening stone as opposed to a Japanese, say, bent quarter stone. These are really nice pieces of kit that I'd recommend you carrying with you in the field. The Fallkniven DC4 is well known. Got a diamond side on one side. It's more abrasive if the edge really needs some reworking. But you can actually get a really, really sharp edge with that alone. And then on the other side you've got a ceramic edge that gets that edge just right, brings it down, really makes it refined. But very good that they've that Fallkniven included that in the kit. And also you have this Zytel sheath, but it's different from the original sheaths that come with the F1. What you've got now is lashing points on the outside, so you can use those as lashing points. It's moly webbing compatible as well, so a nice touch they've done there. And as always, it's as functional as ever. Slips in, very sure grip. There's no movement there at all. Really, really good functional sheath. That you've got drainage holes underneath there, and what they've now done, rather than the 2 holes they had for lashing, you've got one straight through. Not that you're going to really tie that to your leg. It's not a large enough survival knife, I think, to warrant that. But nevertheless, you can hang paracord off it and lash it as you need to. But anyway, let's get on to the blade. I'm just going to put my gloves on. I always like to wear some gloves when I'm working with sharps. It's just gives you a bit more grip, and it's just a little bit more protection. So, I've got a piece of silver birch here I split down with the axe, and just want to have a look at what it can actually do on the batten inside. Split's lovely. This hasn't been worked at all. This is completely as it was out of the box, and it did come very sharp straight out of the box. Split's perfect, no problem with that at all. What we'll do, we'll get it down a little bit finer, and we'll have a look at doing some feather sticks. Oh, could do better than that. I did say that's a robust box, and it does need to be with me in my hands. Okay, let's go on to some feather sticks. So let's have a look at feather stick. Very easy, no real effort needed at all. And of course, someone who's a lot more apt, a lot better at feather sticking than me will make it look a lot easier. But I usually use a Mora knife. This is a joy, that's a real joy. Oh, that's in shot, but no problem there at all. Fantastic. What I want to do is just give you a taster. I'm going to do a full review, will follow on this, but I just wanted to give you a taster of my Fallkniven A1 and the custom sheath setup that I've got. I was very fortunate to have what I consider, or who I consider, one of the best out there in custom sheath making, and that's Martin Swinkels. He kindly put this project together for me. I gave him an indication of what I wanted. I wanted it to be very functional. What we've got here is what I would call a hybrid sheath. Harking back to how sheaths were originally, most leather sheaths either had some sort of bamboo wood inside or bone inside, because when you're putting the blade in and out of the sheath, leather's not always going to be the perfect material. So what this is, we've got a beautiful leather sheath on the outside, room for the Fallkniven DC4. You can get a DC3 in there, of course, no problem at all. That just slots in, pulls up and fastens over. And then I use a like my fire steel, and that fits in lovely there. But as I said, I'm going to do a full review a bit later on, but let's just have a look there. So these can come off. I've got a number of attachment configurations. This can be changed. I tend to wear this on a belt loop anyway. It's absolutely fine. In fact, I can undo these and the Kydex can come out. It can come out completely, so I can use it on its own or as part of the custom sheath itself, and it's really good for taking out and being able to clean. And the blade just fits in with a short, and that is not going anywhere. It's really, really sure in the sheath there. Perfect. What I want to do is just show you as well, these Fallknivens are all the same. They strike a brilliant, really good spark off a ferrous rod. But as I say, I'll explain a bit more about the Fallkniven A1 itself later on, which is in itself a substantive blade, really functional. For me, probably one of the best survival knives out there, along with the Pro series on the F1s. The S1's are equally efficient blade, really. A2 is very good, but that is a beast. It's a beast of a chopping knife. Yeah, I'll do a full review later on. Thanks very much for watching.